friends of Kashmir Kehwa Sips. Hello Mushtaq Bala and hello Kashmir Pen. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I am back again on Sunday Kehwa Sips, once again with Charles Dickens, because Charles Dickens is my favorite author, has always been my favorite author. And once again, I want to read from Great Expectations, and I would like to tell you something about Miss Havisham. Of course, all of you know that his Charles Dickens characterizations have a certain, attraction, and we come across many characters we never forget. So let me read something from the introduction of this book. Born on 7th February 1812, in Portsmouth, Charles Dickens was one of the greatest novelists of the Victorian era. He created some of the most intriguing fictional characters in literature. Of course, he was a literary colossus of his time, and he wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, hundreds of short stories, and non-fiction articles. So such was the charisma, such was the power, such was the aura of Charles Dickens that the term Dickensian is still used to describe situations reminiscent of his narratives. Stalwarts like Leo Tolstoy, George Orwell, and G.K. Chesterton admired him for his comedy, prose style, and realism. So he died in 1870. And one of the characters in Great Expectations is Miss Havisham. And she has always been a very memorable character. Dickens portrayed her as very spiteful. She is an elderly, wealthy woman living in an old mansion, and she wears an old wedding dress every day of her life. She's certainly one of the most memorable creations in the book, and I not too realistic though, yet you can never forget her. Betrayed by Compeyson on supposedly her wedding day, Miss Havisham resolves never to move beyond her heartbreak. She stops all the clocks in the mansion at 20 minutes to 9. That is the moment when she first learned that Compeyson was not going to come. She wears only one shoe because when she learned of his betrayal, she had not yet put on the other shoe. She is obsessively cruel and adopts Estella and raises her as a weapon to achieve her own revenge on men. And she is very vengeful, very spiteful, and she is completely unable to see that her actions are hurtful to Pip and Estella. She is redeemed at the end of the novel when she realizes that she has caused Pip's heart to be broken in the same manner as her heart was broken in the past. And she also realizes that she has not achieved any kind of a personal revenge. She has only caused pain. So she immediately begs Pip for forgiveness. So this is Miss Havisham for you. And I'm going to read a few paragraphs from the book. I had been rereading it, and I always go back to Dickens whenever I have some free time. So here it is, some few paragraphs from the book. What do you think that is? She asked me, again pointing with her stick. That where those cobwebs are. I can't guess what it is, ma'am. It's a great cake, a bride cake, mine. She looked all around the room in a glaring manner and then said, leaning on me while her hand twitched my shoulder, come, walk me. I made out from this that the work I had to do was to walk Miss Havisham round and round the room. Accordingly, I started at once, and she leaned upon my shoulder, and we went away at a pace that might have been an imitation found on my first impulse under the roof of Mr. Pumblechook's cart. She was not physically strong, and after a little time said, slower. Still we went at an impatient, fitful speed, and as we went, She twisted a hand upon my shoulder and worked her mouth, and led me to believe that we were going fast because her thoughts went fast. After a while, she said, "Call Estella." So I went out on the landing and wrote that name as I had done on that previous occasion. When her light appeared, I returned to Miss Havisham and we started away again round and round and round the room. If only Estella had come to be a spectator of our proceedings, I should have felt sufficiently discontented. But as she brought with her the three ladies and the gentleman whom I had seen below, I didn't know what to do. In my politeness, I would have stopped, but Miss Havisham twitched my shoulder, and as we posted on, with a shamefaced consciousness on my part that they would think it was all my doing. "Dear Miss Havisham," said Miss Sarah Pocket, "how well you look." "I do not," returned Miss Havisham. I'm yellow skin and bone." Camilla brightened when Miss Pocket met with this rebuff, and she murmured as she plaintively contemplated Miss Havisham, Poor dear soul. Certainly not to be expected to look well, poor thing, the idea." Thank you for listening to me, and it's on page 79 of this Great Expectations, and get hold of the book, those of you who have not, especially the youngsters, and start reading it. Again, this is my plea to you. You will just love it. Thank you so much, and thank you, Mushtaq Bala and Kashmir Pen, for this opportunity. Toodaloo, see you again next Sunday.